We touched a little bit about friction in the Newton's Law video. It's important to talk about because it plays a really big role as a force. If you remember, we said that friction from the grass has the ability to slow down a soccer ball. Imagine what friction can do to machine parts. First, let's talk about what friction is. Friction is a force that opposes a motion of an object over another object in contact with it. The force of friction between two surfaces will slow the motion of an object and eventually bring it to a rest. There is static friction, which keeps an object at rest from moving. Then there is kinetic friction, which attempts to start moving an object. So referring back to the slowing ball, have you ever set a pen down on a flat surface and all of a sudden it starts rolling? That is kinetic friction in action. Every surface exerts a different amount of friction, which can be seen with the coefficient of friction values. If you run your hand on a smooth table, there isn't much resistance, or friction, coming from the table. If you then rub your hand on a rough surface, like sandpaper, the value of friction is much higher. If you think about running your hand over that sandpaper, ouch, you can see how that higher friction is going to cause more wear or damage to your hand. This is because that value of friction is higher. The coefficient of friction is used in order to calculate the force of friction. As you can see, the force of friction is dependent on a material's surface. This can be used when considering machine parts as well. If the value of friction is high when gears are turning against each other, they're going to wear down faster. It is important to reduce friction within machinery in order to expand their lifespan and reduce possible damage. This can be done with lubrication, which will be talked about in a later video. Other ways to decrease friction include making surfaces smoother, reducing the external forces that are acting upon the objects, and reducing the amount of contact between surfaces. In summary, there are two types of friction: kinetic friction and static friction. It is important to reduce friction when dealing with machine parts in order to reduce wear and tear.